Assalamualaikum. Happy Wednesday. We are 29 days at home under the movement control order, and today I had a tiny request at breakfast. Can you cook beef curry? That comes from my wonderful husband who enjoys my food, hardly complains, and ordered beef curry in my Tupper Chef Series casserole pot. Okay, if you notice, I always use bigger pots than usual because one thing I've learned about cooking curry is that you cannot fill it up to the brim. Okay, you're gonna have a mess. So it's always ideal to have a pot that's 1/3 bigger than what you're actually intending to put in. Okay, so without much ado, I am going to embark on my beef curry. Okay, this is my pot. Okay, all right, and I have expounded on the great features of this pot. Okay, it is round. Okay, and it retains heat. It has a thick bottom, retains heat very well. It's got very cool handles. All right, and it can cook up to 5 points. It filters is the maximum. Okay, or if you're using quarts, about 5.5 quarts. Okay, all right. Without much ado, I am going to start. Okay, I have prepared my ingredients ahead. Okay, I've got my oil. I've got my beef. Okay, I'm using rump steak today. I've got some potatoes. Okay, and I'm using my towels because the good thing is they all add some color to your kitchen. All right, and I've got my Fanta bowls. I've got my spices, my cinnamon stick, my gloves, and my star anise and cardamom with onions and curry leaves. Okay, and then we have some grounded ginger and garlic. Okay, and tomatoes, lots of tomatoes for potatoes, for beef curry, and of course my favorite coriander and red chilies. Okay, and the reason I'm covering it is because hot weather like in Malaysia and humidity, we tend to have a lot of flies. So we need to protect our food. Okay, and that's the beauty of these few favorite containers in mine. Okay, I cover it up, and of course not forgetting my oil bottle and my shelf savers. It has my meat curry powder and my kurma powder and salt and coconut milk today. Okay, all right. So I'm just going to add in my oil. For those of you who are in a hurry, you can definitely use the pressure cooker. Okay, and just pressure cook it for about 20 minutes. And you'll have your curry ready. Okay, but I have the leisure and luxury of time today, so I will do it the old-fashioned way. All right, and the oil is heating up. Okay, so I am just going to put in my onion, my curry leaf, and my spices. And to make sure that your curry is flavorful, alright, never let your onions be raw and fragrant, okay? And there is nothing more wholesome than onions caramelizing in butter or oil whenever you're cooking. Okay? And okay. I am doing this video with FB Live today in English because I have had many engagements with foreigners, okay? And they seem to be very interested in curries and Malaysian food. So on and off, I will be switching into English FB Live so that they can also benefit and enjoy our food. After all, Malaysia is a melting pot of great food. My onions have turned fragrant. Okay, very little time to make sure that they're soft and fragrant. And the curry leaves have actually turned a bright green. Okay, it's also because the pot retains. You don't have a pressure cooker, but you want to use the chef series or the black series. You actually save time cooking. Okay. Right. Now I'm going to put my curry powder in. Okay. Again, the need to actually cook your spices well so that you don't end up with a tummy upset. Okay. I'm just putting, these are really small spoons, okay? So I'm going to be putting 8 of these, okay? The beef curry is never too thick, all right? So it's a little bit runny, so it works on rice and also breads, okay? Like I mentioned that I'm going to make roti jala tonight. And I'm going to just put 4 kurma powder, right? And the wonderful thing about the shelf savers is it comes with its own spoon, so you never have to worry, you never have to scramble looking for spoons, okay? Then I'm going to add some salt. You can always add more at the end of your cooking, okay? It's better to add less than more, okay? You can fry it a little bit.
Kamal Shida is watching.
Hi Kamal, hi Shida. How are you guys today? Okay. And I'm going to add my ginger and garlic. Okay. And yes, this is a Tupperware jar that I got from abroad. Okay. Another favorite of mine. Really looks nice. Okay. I'm just going to add a bit more water here. I managed to snag it with some nice glasses. Okay. Clean the edges of your pot. The other thing about cooking is, this is just a tip, always make sure you take all the ingredients from the side so everything cooks uniformly. I'm just going to add a bit more water. Right. And now we let this simmer until oil surfaces to the top, which denotes that your spices are cooked. Okay, and we'll let it simmer for about 2 minutes before we add in our beef and tomatoes. Okay, I have been using the Chef Series at great length, and I would like to throw a challenge to anyone who has actually bought the Chef Series and to do an FB Live, and show us how easy it has been since this. Please do take up the challenge. Okay, I can give you a few tips while we're waiting for this to simmer. Okay, how do you slice beef for curry? Okay, you have the chunks, okay, and you also have the slices. But if you're intending to, whichever way you're intending to cut it, okay, always make sure you cut across the grain. If you cut it along the grain, it's only because you're going to cook or simmer it for hours, like you're cooking rendans, okay, or you're cooking soup, anything soupy. Otherwise, do cut it across the grain when you eat. Many times people ask, do I have to get it cut at the butcher's? Actually, you can learn to do so, and I will do an FB live one of these days to show you how good or where knives are. Yes, they do have knives. Okay, they have a chef knife and they have a paring knife, and I think there's another knife. There are 3 knives that are produced by Tupperware, and I'll show you how good they are, and I'll show you how to cut meat or to cut chicken. Yeah, and these are little tips that make your cooking a joy, because nobody wants a tough piece of meat at the end of the meal. You know. Okay.
You've got a question. Sorry if I pronounced the name wrong. Tirunavukarasu. Karasu.
Okay. Captain Tiru, yes.
Okay. Puan Sri, what's your opinion on Thermomix? I have no idea what it is, but it seems everyone's talking about it now. Apparently, some sort of super cooker that can cook multiple dishes.
I actually own a Thermomix, Captain. It is rather pricey, okay, and apparently it's a great gadget to have at home, but only if I think it is affordable, but only if you're going to be using it all the time. If you are somewhat like me, okay, where I have actually learned to cook from my parents, from friends, from chefs, then there is this thing in me that I will not be using it too much. Okay, it claims to do a lot of stuff that others don't, and it can steam food, it can make your kaya and knead your breads. It does a whole lot of things, okay, but it's really a personal choice. I have one and I have not unboxed it, so I've been procrastinating actually. But my take is, I think a lot of women, okay, if they're not into cooking all sorts of stuff, then they would just stick to the traditional pots and pans and non-sticks or stainless steel. Okay, all right. My spices have all actually cooked well enough. Okay, and I want to bring the camera closer.
Station is here.
Okay, and if you can see, okay, it's almost non-stick. Although this one doesn't have a coating, it's almost non-stick. And that's the beauty of Chef Series, that I am very happy with this and the Black Series. And I can find no better joy than cooking in these pots every day. And that is why I have so many sets in some of my homes. Okay.
Steve Chan.
Hi Steve, how are you? Are you smelling my beef curry from afar? Okay, now I'm going to put my beef in, okay? As you can see, I've sliced it very thinly, okay? I'm just going to...
Very poor internet connection. Keep on pause.
Okay, I'm just going to put the beef in. All right, and I'm going to coat it with the spices, okay? And again, as I always say, there's no hard and fast rule with the ingredients. You're free to add, substitute, anything, okay? Everyone has a favorite recipe. Everyone has something that they've learned from their moms, and no one can take that knowledge away from you. And sometimes it's nice to actually do a fusion between your recipe and someone else's, and you end up with something else. Put my tomatoes. As I said just now, you need a little bit more tomato than usual with beef, okay, because tomato actually helps to, okay, And now we just let this simmer for a bit. Okay, you can hear it. That's the thing with this pot, okay? It heats up very fast, it retains the heat, okay? So your cooking time is actually drastically reduced. And someone also did ask me why the chef series is so expensive. And actually, if you were to do a calculation like most economists would, okay, this pot is retailing at 1,088 ringgit. All right. No, don't faint. Please don't faint. Okay. And if you get 25% discount, okay, and it works up to about 800 plus, okay. And if you consider, it comes to about 2 ringgit 70 cent a day for a year, and this pot is going to serve you for a minimum or at least 10 years. So why would you not make an investment on this pot now and use it for 10 years and have great food coming out of it? You know? So whenever I buy something for my kitchen, that is how I sit down and rationalize with myself as to whether something is worth it, okay? And this pot, I think I use it every day, okay? And if I have 2 sets, it's only because I use it more than twice a day. And or I cook more than 2 dishes and I would really need that many pots, okay? And they have not failed me. I make great stews with it. Great. Everything seems to taste better because of how the flavor, because of the way the pot is made. Okay, the flavor. And what's better is that actually, if you're doing a potluck, okay, you do not even have to change containers. You actually can bring it as is because it is so beautiful on the table. All right. I'm just going to cook my meat a little bit before I put all the gravy or the water in and the coconut cream. Yeah. It is just to let the spices infuse into the meat, and also for the tomatoes to actually build its flavor with the meat and the spices. Okay.
Faiza and Keith is here. Faiza, as usual, saya tak pernah try beef curry lagi.
Faiza, kita tak boleh jadi jiran hari ni. Steve dah dahulu minta jadi jiran.
Keith pun here.
Hi Keith. Keith makan beef kan? Bolehlah share dengan Keith sikit ya. Okay. Because this is rump and it is very soft meat, okay? I am putting in my potatoes as well. Again, the potatoes, you can cut it as I have, or you can even make it smaller. You can cut it smaller into smaller pieces, really up to you. Okay, and you can see that the spices have actually darkened because of the beef. Okay, that is how you know that the beef and the spices have actually melded together. All right, they've merged. So you're gonna get a really nice, very tasty and substantially flavored in its own juices. Okay, meat with the spices first before you add any additional water or cream or moisture. Okay, I'm using coconut milk today, which you can actually substitute with fresh milk or UHT milk. Okay, it works fine either way. But as they say, if you're Malaysian, you're never far away from a coconut tree and its fruits. Okay, I think it's coming along nicely. Okay, I'm just going to let it simmer. Okay, I just want to show you how the oil rises up to the surface for a bit. Okay. And the heat retention that that is within this pot, okay, it works very well to ensure that the food is cooked constantly on a constant heat. Okay, that is very important because and suddenly the heat goes off. Okay, you're going to have to repeat all the steps again simply because you may alter the makeup of the bean. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to add in my coconut cream. And we're not going to add too much of it because we want the flavor of the beef to actually remain rather than be mushed by the coconut milk. Okay. And I'm going to add some more water. It's not going to be a thick curry. Okay. Let's clean the sides. We had a lot of our spices going to the side just now. Okay. And now, before I okay, the same recipe can be used for lamb, chicken. Okay, I don't know. Some people eat other sorts of meat, some exotic meats. Well, you can use the same recipe. Again, you can do a half and half. You can use coconut cream and milk, or just milk, or just coconut cream. And you can increase or reduce the spices. Some of us, okay, like my father, okay, he would add in additional pepper powder, okay, because he wants that heat that comes after the taste. Okay, it's nice if you're cooking something very rich like nasi minyak or butter rice. Okay, then I would also add the pepper powder because it lends a heat and cuts the grease. Okay, Captain Thiru, I will talk to you privately about your recipes also. Okay, if you're still watching. And okay, it's coming to a boil. And this is not the only pot in Chef series. We also have the saucepan. Okay, we also have the saucepan, which I have used to make good custard sauces. Actually, I love this saucepan. Okay, because one is it is very stable because it's heavy. All right. And it's very good to melt butter for caramel. Okay, it gives a very nice color. I also make my gula melaka sauces in here. Okay, my daughter-in-law who's also taking the video today, Nur Ali Shafika. So she always makes it in this pot with just 1 or 2 pandan leaves, okay, and a generous pinch of salt. Somehow or other, both of us share this love for salted caramel. So there you go. We have salted gula melaka, we have salted caramel sauces, which we sometimes use to actually drizzle over our bread and butter pudding. That's another one. I normally use my Black Series to make my bread and butter pudding because that one is from oven to table. Okay, it's a beautiful piece of cookware, and but these are really some of the best investments that I have made for my kitchen. Okay, all right, it's come to a boil. Okay, as you can see, I've not added much oil because I'm trying to make this as healthy as possible. Okay, the only thing about this MCO is that all of us are not getting enough steps done to work out, and if we do work out, it's because we have a little rascal at home, Atif Daniel, my grandson, the youngest, okay, and he makes all of us dance, okay, and sing. So that's the only exercise we all get. So we need to get the food healthy. All right. And now I'm going to cover this, and I'm going to let it cook for about half an hour. Okay. And I will show you the results of this particular dish later. Okay, when I show you how I serve it for lunch. So we'll see you again in the next FB Live.